Hello. Welcome to this podcast is called Stardust. Shut up. You always do this. Stardust Crusaders.
No.
I'm starting. God damn it.
You want to start over, baby?
Every time. Hello. Welcome to Straw Hat Crusaders. This is our podcast. What we do on this podcast is talk about JoJo and One Piece, one after the other, and sometimes at the same time. One of us is a One Piece fan who's watching JoJo for the first time, and three of us are JoJo fans who are reading One Piece for the first time. To my left right now, as we speak, is
Clayton Shellman.
And to his left,
Hayden Hardrick.
and to his left,
Josh.
and then it's me again.
Whoa.
Woo!
Did you say your name?
Oh, I'm Adriana. Me is Adriana.
Just so people know.
And how's everyone doing this week?
I'm doing swell. My phone's going off.
Wow. So disrespectful.
Professional alert.
Clayton's a
Professional
popular guy. Whoa.
I'm serving at a restaurant that I served at for 5 years.
Yeah, you are king.
I'm back. I'm serving. I'm working. I'm
Work.
and I'm not happy about it. And I forgot. I'm actually not going to say this on the podcast. The kitchen there, bad people.
Oh,
a lot
no.
of them.
The kitchen specifically.
Yes. Yeah. I'll have some details to get into off podcast.
Wow.
Whoa.
Drama.
But at least that'll be over soon.
That'll be over soon.
Oh,
just
yeah.
for a week and a half, baby.
Fuck yeah, Dad.
All right, how about y'all? How y'all doing?
I'm fine. I can't really remember what happened this week. I'm trying to think of things that have happened this week that are good or even bad.
You went
Maybe
to the club, dude.
I did go to the club last night. We went to 80s night and danced our tiny.
What's up?
Hayden, how'd you make that noise with your mouth?
It was awesome. I can
While
I
you
got
were
a weird
talking.
like throat thing that
did
I
you,
can do.
Did you learn that at 80s night?
Yeah. I actually did it. This is for my Magic the Gathering fans out there. I did that to learn Phyrexian. Because that's a language that can only be spoken if you have metal in your throat. Like you have to make like part of the vowels are like metal screeching on metal. And
Whoa.
Damn.
They
We're gonna
must
turn
be
this-
really good beatboxers.
I'm gonna turn this into a Magic the Gathering.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'll come back to me. I loop around.
Sorry.
Josh.
Okay. I was about to say, they must be giants. I was going to say that after you said they must be good beatboxers. I don't know.
Well, you said it.
I didn't say it like in
No, you
good
didn't say it in
time.
a good way, but you said it.
I didn't say it with good timing. Hi everyone. I'm doing pretty good. Well, I'm doing good today.
Okay.
It's been an interesting week. It's been an interesting week for us. But you know, this was honestly this was not a good week, but it was a good drive over to come record this. We saw a truck. We saw a black Dodge Ram on the truck on the highway just ahead of us. And you know, when you see a Dodge Ram on the road, you know that like tonight's gonna be a movie. You know what I mean? Like this is gonna be an interesting drive one way or another because they tend to be just Dodge Ram drivers in general just tend to be a bit reckless or annoying. This one though wasn't a bad driver, but he had this interesting sticker on his bumper. It said, I read it as "Stop Global Warming," and I was like, wow. That is not what I would expect from a Dodge Ram owner. Not to get political on this podcast, but like that is just
We definitely
not,
never do that.
That is just not what I expected. I'm like, oh, maybe this guy was like given his Dodge Ram, and he like by his maybe it was like something was passed on to him because no like person who goes out and buys a Dodge Ram has that sticker.
This is a long story.
Yeah. Then it got a little closer and it said, "Stop global whining."
Literally, I was sitting next to Josh. He was like, "Oh, stop global warming. You never see that on a Dodge." Oh, it says "Stop global whining."
Yeah, and
Well.
and then I had another sticker on the bumper that had a picture of Joe Biden and a message on it, but we got close, but we couldn't see what it says. All we saw was the highlighted word "ass." It said like at Joe Biden's face, it said blah, 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 "ass," blah, 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 question mark.
That's funny.
So fuck that guy.
True.
That was the highlight of Josh's week, everybody.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel like something else happened, but I can't remember either. I can't really remember this week.
Yeah. Something happened to me this week.
Whoa.
The wrath of God has
Oh no.
struck me down. Truly.
Yeah.
My car is fucked. Like legitimately,
man.
like completely fucked. Like I might need a new car. Devastating. And also I've been sick for the last 5 days.
It's really making me laugh how you have your mask right now.
Well, I'm glad that you're getting some sense of joy from me right now, Josh.
No, continue. Continue. Aldrina has their mask like a chin strap right now.
It's just below my mouth, like a boomer. So, yeah. But other than that, honestly, I'm just trying to trying to move on, take it in stride. But yeah, we have a convention coming up that we're going to.
Yeah.
It's IkiCon in Round Rock, and so I just got most of the stuff for my cosplays in. I've been working on that. I've been working on cosplays for our other friend Lucas too, we're doing like a matching thing. Super excited. Also, we are all doing a matching thing on Friday. It's gonna be awesome. So yeah, I'm trying to focus on that, being excited for that.
Yeah, for any fans who want to come see us, who can time travel, because this will definitely come out after that con. But yeah, come see us if you're a fan. If you're any one of our fans, any one of our millions of fans.
True.
Let's
say hi.
tell them what what we're planning on going as, right?
On Friday, we are me is cosplaying a One Piece character for the first time. Now, I've been cosplaying JoJo characters for the last year. So we're doing a One Piece group on Friday. It's gonna be great. I'm cosplaying Robin, and Clayton's gonna be Buggy.
Yes.
Hayden's gonna be Croc, and Josh is gonna be Ace. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
this will come out after that.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, if
but
we
it's
really
cool.
ramp up the schedule,
I
But-
mean, we could, yeah.
Yeah, we could just release 6 episodes
will-
on one day.
we'd have to. Yeah.
I could plug my Instagram, and that's where the pictures will be. So
We could also
Oh,
post
do it.
pictures on our Twitter.
yeah.
Yes.
No, true. Yeah, we'll probably do
Yeah.
that.
Let's fucking
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Then people can know how beautiful we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like people.
I feel like people kind of already get it with me. I think I just kind of give off that vibe.
Well, you are the shortest one at this podcast.
That is
so
true.
You have an uphill
little
battle.
short stack.
I'm really fighting uphill.
No, but oh yeah, the New Year's happened. We forgot to talk
Oh
about that.
shit! Yeah, it's
It's a new
2024.
year.
2024.
Yeah.
Which I no one's ever said this before. Does not feel like a real year. Does not feel real.
What are you talking about?
You know how people say that?
What?
Look,
No.
Clayton, stop looking at me like that.
I
You know how
don't.
people say that every year where they're like, this does not feel like a real year.
Who are you talking to?
What, are y'all just
You
voices
talking-
in my head now?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Josh, you fully turned around away from the table when you said that. What's up?
Are these people in the room with us right now?
oh,
These people?
man.
What?
Fucking hell. No, it's just a weird,
I've heard people say
it's
that.
a difficult number to stomach.
24?
Yeah. 2024 is not one, like when 2025 happens, I'll be like, I can't believe we're in 2025, but it feels like a year that was coming. Does that make sense?
Oh, no.
It feels like you expect big things in that year.
You know what? One day, Josh's memoirs will be world renowned.
Yeah.
And everyone
gonna
will
look like idiots.
Yeah, everyone will look back on the famous Josh Gordon and just wonder what it was like to be around his beautiful mind.
People are going to have fridge magnets of things I've said. And y'all going to have to deal with that.
2024 doesn't feel real, Josh Gordon, on your fridge.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I mean, how do we feel? How did we feel about 2023, guys?
Man, you know what pisses me off? I'm going to do basically exactly what Josh did, but just with a different thing. Everybody who's like, man, this year sucked, but next year is my year.
Right.
And it's like, why do you think that the things in your life are paying attention to the fucking calendar? Like,
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with what year it is.
No.
It's just that life sucks all the time, always.
Well,
And,
I don't know if I'd go that far.
well, I think that the world is a cruel place, and I
Yeah.
think that there's no happiness to be found
I
anywhere.
think that there's
that
inherent
on a
joy.
fridge,
I
man.
think there's
Yeah.
inherent joy in being alive, Clayton.
I do too. I'm an
No,
optimist.
I think people cope by saying it's March 2nd. That's why months exist.
Yeah.
That's the fridge.
I know, like that's the quote right there. I think people go by saying it's March 2nd.
Sorry, continue, Clayton.
That's most of my thought. I just like that.
Yeah.
People always do that, and it's like, was that year really much worse than like any year you had before it, or are you just looking at the end of the year and going like, man, sometimes bad things happen to me, but not this next year because it says a different number.
Yeah.
I could definitely say that I feel like 2023 was a particularly good year for me.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, if it goes that way, I feel like it could go the other. Like I
Okay.
feel like, especially if you're like, I don't know, like a Wall Street guy in a suit or something, you can tell if it's been a bad year or not. I think.
That's so true.
If we look at everything through a fiscal lens,
Fuck off.
I agree though. I agree. Like you can look on average. I think it's just more like if you look at just what happened in your year, it's bound to be on average just different than the year before, because when a year passes, enough things change for you to like, I guess, quantify it that way.
Another
People will
fridge
study
quote
his
right
mind for
Another
centuries.
fridge
Am I
quote.
saying something that's untrue?
No, just like I feel like if you look at this year, it's different from that year.
Are y'all serious?
I think we got to talk about JoJo.
I think we do.
I had a
think we
good
do.
2023 is all I'm saying, and this
Nice.
year is starting off with a bang.
Oh yeah.
And by bang, I mean Adriana's car broke down.
Damn.
I always get sick around New Year's too. Oh, that's also what I was gonna say is if my voice sounds unpleasant, forgive me, but don't forgive the microorganisms making it that way
Whoa.
because I'm not.
Yeah, we weren't planning on it, buddy.
Biology.
Yeah, but we got more important things to talk about. We hope you get well soon, Adriana. We
I
really
know.
do. You can hear in my voice, but
What the fuck is JoJo? What's happening?
Clayton,
JoJo Bizarre Adventure?
Clayton,
JoJo.
Clayton, what episodes did you watch?
watched 5 episodes of JoJo.
I watched
Uh-huh.
5 of them. Starting with a little shit ass kid
Shut
playing
up.
rock paper scissors.
Jonkin Boy.
Jankin Po. And this kid was annoying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
he
wow.
was.
This is my least favorite. This is my least favorite episode in part 4.
But there's some fun stuff in this episode. It's another Rohan episode. He loves Rohan. He loves it. And there's a scene where Rohan steals the invisible baby and writes in its head to hold a boy's hand open, which is interesting. It was an interesting move on Araki's part. And the baby's part. The baby did good. He was stronger than I thought. He was able to hold that boy's hand close.
Yeah.
That's
Other
like
than
the
that-
one thing babies are good at is holding people's hands, like holding on to death
true.
gripping people's hands. You ever touched a baby? They go right for your hands.
I would never.
Hold on to them.
I've never even looked at a baby.
But there were the only other things.
What? What happened?
I'm sorry. It looked like after you said I've never even touched a baby, it just looked like Adriana got really sad.
Oh my god. No, I just stopped talking, and that's just my resting face right now.
Clayton, what else did you like about this episode?
There were two funny bits. One, Rohan is like, all right, I'm going to go to a restaurant and work on this manga stuff. And at another table nearby are Josuke, Okuyatsu, and I think Hair Girl, right?
Yukiko, yeah.
Yeah. Without Koichi, right?
Yeah.
What was she doing hanging out without her boyfriend?
I think they're just friends now.
They're friends with her?
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, Josuke ends up being friends with a lot of people that wronged everyone.
Sure.
He's friends with Okuyatsu. Okuyatsu tried to kill him.
That's true, I guess. But they show up and they're like, hey, Rohan, how's it going? And Rohan's like, oh, fuck, I hate these guys. They're so annoying. I don't want to sit with them. I need to find some excuse. And he's like, hey, I'm here to work on my thing. I can't sit with you. I'm sorry. And they're like, rats, okay. And then later, when Rohan's about to get killed by this little boy with a hole in his face, he like waves and yells to Joseph and Josuke as they're walking by because he sees them. And he's like, Mr. Joestar! And Josuke's like, oh, Grandpa. Or Dad. I fucking hate that guy. I fucking hate that guy. We gotta avoid him.
Yeah.
And then Joseph, he even goes through this whole thing where he's like, wait a second. I saw this kid talking to him earlier, and he seemed awfully strange, and now all these hours later he's here with them. That kid must be a huge fan of his. That's all. And it's like this little... And then they walk away.
Joseph has not learned a single thing from his entire life.
Well, I think he probably has learned it, and then dementia took it away from him.
Yeah, maybe he just wanted to assume the best because he was so tired.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, of
That's
fighting.
true. Yeah.
He fully died.
He died.
He fully died. His spirit saw at least some sort of purgatory because it left his body, and we never hear about what he saw. We never hear about it.
He got a knife in his throat.
Yeah.
That's not good.
There was also Rohan and the Jonkin boy. Ken is his name.
Uh-huh.
They jump
What?
about 100 feet in the air at some point.
Yeah.
It's not a child name, first of all. That's not a name for a child.
No, it's not.
Ken.
It should be like Kenny.
My
Yeah.
dad's name is Ken.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Your dad
Spoiler.
was never a child.
Dad was never a child.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
shows. But yeah, he stops his boy from killing himself, right?
Yes. He stops him from killing himself. What?
Based
Oh, yeah.
Rohan?
He jumps in front of a truck.
The kid, because he loses.
Yeah. He's like, well, if I can't win it, rock, paper, scissors, I don't deserve to live.
Yeah.
And Rohan is like, okay, well, I'm going to jump in front of this truck as well. And then something happens that makes the truck driver, turn away, but I don't remember what. He goes like, oh, shit, there's something. And he I don't remember.
Is it not because there's now a full-sized adult in front of the truck?
Yeah, okay. He couldn't see the kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
My dad used to always be like, I don't know if that's actually what happened in the episode because it's been a while since I watched it.
Uh-huh.
One of the few I skipped this time around. But my dad used to always be like, they can't see you when I was little. Cars cannot see you, okay? You're not a big adult yet. And he'd make sure. My dad didn't trust cars. My dad's been in 5 car accidents.
Damn.
In his life.
No, it's true. I deal with that a lot. I have to be really careful when I'm walking
Yeah.
in the street.
They
'cause
can't see
They
you.
can't see me.
They're like, is that the shortest member of Straw Hat Crusaders? We can't tell. He's
We can't tell.
so
I can't
small.
see him.
Yeah.
My
Even when
18
people
wheeler.
aren't in cars, really, they often have a hard time noticing.
All right. We don't have to dogpile on me. All right.
I love how
It's
Josh-
funny when I make the joke, but not when you guys make the joke about me.
Okay.
I love how Josh was like, yeah, my dad did this really weird thing where he told me to be careful about cars. He told me that cars would hit me.
I didn't say it was weird.
I just like
You
you're
implied
just
it.
tell it. Yeah, you implied the implication.
My dad was based in that
Yeah.
regard.
Anyway,
One of the few times. But listen, there's a lot of stuff we could say about this episode. It's an
True.
action-packed episode.
Yeah.
But I want to stop talking about it because there's better episodes to get to.
his
Before-
outfit sucked. Just saying.
Which one?
The kid's outfit.
The kid's
Oh,
outfit.
yeah,
and
he's
his
a little
stand.
weird.
I
He
think
had a
he's-
hole in his face too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks the
I don't know
energy
what-
from other people when he wins in rock paper
Which is
scissors.
like, what?
Uh-huh.
Oh, before I forget, I want to do an outfit tier list. When we do tier lists, I want to do outfit
Hell
tier
yeah.
because I feel like One Piece and JoJo, they both have a lot of alternate outfits that are
Oh, yeah.
pretty that you got some opinions on. So
Well, so far in One Piece, they haven't been super diverse yet.
I'm talking about like covers included, like cover art
Ooh.
included.
We could be here all day.
Yeah.
If we did it for JoJo too, we'd be
Yeah.
here all day. But yeah, I just want to cap off that conversation with I don't care for this stand. It's one of the few
Yeah.
that I really don't care for.
In Hunter x Hunter, the main character, Gon, his main ability is rock paper scissors in a very similar way to this.
Really?
Yes.
No way.
It's a little different because it's like the whole point is it's not actually doing anything like magical around rock paper scissors. It's just like he's like either I'm gonna hit you with my rock attack, my scissor attack, or my paper attack, which are all like different, and then
So he's like Two-Faced.
basically, yeah. If they predict that he's gonna do the wrong one and guard themselves in the wrong way, he's gonna beat the shit out of him. Basically,
That sounds cool.
it's awesome. Hunter x Hunter's great.
Yeah, and he gets really long hair at some point.
Yes,
Is that part of it?
that not part of the rock paper scissors thing.
Okay.
But in this, it's just they're just playing rock paper scissors.
Yeah.
And the more it gets to like they start getting into like it's because of my luck. I'm gonna have the best luck in the world, and it's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't
Well-
care about your damn luck.
How'd you feel about the rest of the episodes you watched?
The rest of the episodes I watched, I'm actually blanking on what the last one was.
It was the Stray Cat episode.
Stray
Meet the
Cat. I did not like that one, but the three in the middle were a lot of fun.
You did not like
Yeah.
Stray Cat at all?
Not really.
What did you I'm pissed off. I'm
Sure.
pissed the fuck off.
Sure.
Stray Cat itself I'm not interested in, but the family dynamic of Kiro.
Yeah, I like parts of it. I like the part with the kid learning things. Is that the episode where we learn that he's spying on his mother
I believe so.
with a
Oh,
camera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Man, it's been years since the last time Mom got naked for Dad." And that was upsetting.
Really upsetting. Yeah.
Not a fan of this kid no more. I hope
I love
Kira
how-
gets him.
I love how your instinct is to be like, this kid sucks. And me and Josh, when we first saw that, was like, a Rocky, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, pretty much whenever you have characters like that, because obviously some characters are written to be like, oh, this guy is disgusting, and so it's
Yeah.
not like Araki is not like standing everything. But sometimes, and this goes for Oda too, but sometimes there are characters that are like, oh, the author here is not writing you to be a bad person.
No.
He's just putting this in here, I guess, because he thinks it's funny, and that's never fun.
Yeah. I don't know. Was it like that you just didn't you actively disliked it, or it just didn't impress you? It was like a middle of the road episode.
I would say it's pretty middle of the road.
That's fair.
I like the family dynamic stuff, and I enjoy. I want to see more of that. I didn't like this cat
No.
flower thing.
No, it's weird.
Are
as
you
fuck.
a cat person already in general?
I'm allergic.
But
I'm allergic
that
to cats.
doesn't
and
matter.
dogs.
I mean, there are plenty of cat people are allergic.
I do like cats. I
Okay.
am a fan of cats. Ellis has 2 cats, and I love them both a lot.
Yeah, I'm a dog person. So watching that episode, I was like, this is exactly how I feel. Like this is how I'm not like cats are evil. They suck. But it's definitely like you would leave me for dead. Like I do not trust you in any way. Dude.
Well, okay, we're jumping ahead a little bit. You met a little alien.
I met an alien. I gotta say, when I saw even just the title of the episode, I was like, oh man. And I still don't know how I feel about the alien being around, but the way he has been used thus far, very fun.
That was some of the best. That was like one of the best times we've had watching JoJo all together. I think
It was a very good
really
time.
good.
There were a couple moments where we were just laughing so hard. Sorry, Hayden.
Yeah, it was
Oh, sorry.
awesome.
Oh, no, I
Hayden had to
forgot.
work
Awesome
when we
and
watched
fun.
these.
Forgot.
Yeah, I had to work, and they sat around, and I came back, and they were still in my house.
Yeah.
Were they? Did you remember these episodes, right?
Enough, vaguely.
Yeah, where he meets an alien, but
Yeah.
they're not sure.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
an
And he
alien.
turns into dice, and he
There's a really
Rohan, kills himself in front of him or whatever.
there's a really great bit that when they meet him, just in general, where like Josuke and Okuyasu just think this guy's punking them. They just think he's like trolling. And they're like, brother, you are fucking hilarious. Like, we like you a lot. You're a hoot and a holler. And then he keeps like committing to the fact that he's an alien. He eats like some tissue paper that they give him.
And they're like, okay, man.
They slowly get more and more fed up with it.
They're like, okay, this guy's actually like cramping my style. He's creeping me the fuck out. But I just love how bro-y Josuke and Okuyasu are. It's very endearing when like I'm like, I've been there. I've been where you are. I met
Yep.
an alien. I didn't believe it. You know.
True.
Are you not a fan of aliens?
I like aliens. I seen an alien one time. Have I told you that?
Please do.
I have a UFO story, and this is not me believing that I did see a UFO. I just know what I saw,
Yeah.
and
Well, it was an unidentified
It was a
flying object.
Yeah.
So yes, you did see a UFO.
my bedroom in the house that we lived at in high school. We didn't have enough bedrooms, but the house did have a little sunroom. It was a room, all windows, all across the walls, and windows on the ceiling as well. And that's where that's where I slept. And what?
Why?
Because otherwise I would be living in a room with my brother or sister.
Okay, so okay. So, but who decided who got did you want the room? Did you want the cool window room?
I think yeah. I think I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just think that was funny. Like I don't know why, but the way you told that, I was like, Clayton was like, man, fuck normal bedrooms. I want to be in the window room.
No, I mean, yeah, it was out of necessity, but also I think partially I didn't want to make either of my siblings be out there, and also I think I was fine with it for the most part. But at one point at night, I looked up out the window and over by, like, just out in the sky, I saw it was like 3 green lights that were like kind of spinning around. And then they just went and did, like, you know when a TV turns off and it's like, it was like that, and then it was gone.
Wow.
So that's what I saw.
Brother, it's called a drone.
Wait,
Hate
how
to
old are
say
you?
it.
I was like 16, 17.
Well, yeah, actually, it could have been.
Well,
Yeah.
Clayton didn't invent drones until he was 18, so I don't
Yeah.
think that would have been possible.
Well, I think this is kind of like.
But how did it disappear?
Huh?
How did it disappear?
I
Josh?
disappear, Josh.
Turn the light off.
Turn the light off?
Yeah, you
And
literally
wait.
did just say, you know how a TV turns its light off?
No. So it was 3 dots.
Yeah.
That were like, if it was a drone, it would have to be 3 drones.
Okay.
Like, that's how far apart these 3 dots were. And then all of a sudden, like all at once, all 3 of the lights, as like one shape, went.
That's funny because that's what happened in this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
All right.
No,
He turns into dice, okay? He froze up.
No, I think that's an interesting story. I wouldn't know what to believe either.
Yeah.
He turns into sneakers first.
Turns
though.
into sneakers.
He
and Josuke
does.
goes
Kind of
flying.
And he starts
awesome.
bouncing Josuke around.
Just a tangent one time. You were also there for my extraterrestrial experience thing,
Whoa.
right?
Whoa.
You remember
Yes,
that?
yes.
Clayton alien magnet?
I'm not gonna get into the full details, but I will at some point. I'll tell y'all later. But we were out stargazing at a place that has like stars that we can see really nice.
That's the perfect place to do that.
It's really dark and away from the city. It's a very nice, really pleasant time, and I was with some lovely friends, and it was a very special time in my life. And at one point, we were looking up, and I saw. I know there's probably an explanation, and you don't have to get mad at me for this, but I'm just saying what I saw. I saw a star move. Like I was just like looking up, and there were like 2 stars that were like, one was up above another, and then I just saw it like shrink and like lower down to the same level as the other star and then stop moving.
Aw.
And I wasn't the only one that saw it. Some other people saw it that were there too.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I love how I feel like you ask any person in America, and at least half of them have been like, "Yeah, I seen an alien."
Yeah, well,
I've
not
seen
me.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Which
Two
is
people,
fucked up.
half of the people at this table, half of the Americans at this table have had an experience like this,
True.
and the other half haven't. Just goes to show that we are the land of the free.
That's true.
You know.
One time, I'm going to make this so quick. I was with the first person I ever was in a relationship with. We were out like camping, and no, it was at like a cabin thing with their family, and we were lying on like this little trampoline that lays on the water. We were looking up at the sky, and we were just talking about stars and stuff, and then they were like, "Have you ever seen a shooting star?" And I was like, "No, I never have." And then literally that instant, a shooting star happened right above us.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Crazy. It was awesome.
did you make a wish?
Yeah.
What'd you wish for?
Tell us. Did it come
I
true?
can't tell you.
It hasn't come
Still
true
hasn't
yet.
come true?
Obviously, he can't tell you.
Yeah, I want to be able to fly.
Well, couldn't you actually remember what wish you made? Because every time I make a wish about something, I can't remember.
I do. Yeah. I'm
It
not
was
going
a
to get into it.
Special wish. Every
was a
time I've
special
seen
wish?
a shooting star, which is like 3 times, all 3 of those times.
Bragging.
No, I know all 3 of those times I've been in the car with my mom.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So like I just have to hang out with my mom and I see a shooting star.
Whoa.
That's great.
Yeah.
You've only hung out with your mom like 3 times.
Exactly. It's like
Okay, all right. We don't have to unpack that. Funny enough, seeing 3 shooting stars is a JoJo reference.
what?
We'll get into that later.
Girl, okay.
Remember that for later. For way
Alien,
later.
alien time.
It'll be a long time until I unpack that one.
Do you think it's funny? What? Sorry, I
What?
was not listening. Do you think it's funny, Clayton, that Josuke meets this alien and a pattern is forming here where he's like, "Whoa, this is a crazy stand that you have. We could be friends. How can I use this to make money?"
Yeah. Josuke loves to hustle.
Yes.
And he is just a little broke boy trying to make some soda money.
Yeah.
Which I like a lot. He also goes straight to his enemy to scam Rohan. Kizibi.
Enemy.
And that sequence is very fun. There were a lot of great moments.
He already loaded the die. He put the alien. The alien is a die. The alien shapes into a die, and he had already snuck it into Rohan's house, knowing
Yeah.
that Rohan would not trust him to bring his own dice.
Uh-huh.
I love when he turns away and he's like, "Tee."
He says, "I'm such a villain."
Also in these episodes, we get the new intro.
Yeah.
Break down.
Great days.
Great days,
Na,
great
na, na,
days.
na.
Expecting a new intro.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's so good. I was so happy because I was worried that you were going to get that spoiled because I was like, every other part has had just 2 intros.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Breakdown is a really solid.
Are they all going to have 3 from now on?
No.
4?
No.
An intro every episode?
Only I think there's like, it's a number of intros per part for what the number part is.
Oh,
What?
so there's one more coming for this one.
Wait. That wouldn't make
Yeah,
any
part
sense.
6 has 6 intros.
Yeah.
Don't you remember?
Part 4 has 3 intros. That's why it makes sense. Yeah.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
No. Part 4 was a rare case. I'll be real. I'm glad they did it. I don't know why they decided this one was going to have 3 intros. I love all 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a fun one, isn't it?
It is. It's awesome. There's the part where Josuke's walking all. He's like.
Yeah. Yeah, just little footsteps.
I'm a
Pitter
fan
patter.
of that. But yeah, I don't think I've put it in my ranking yet, just because I want a little bit more time with it.
Let it marinate. Let this one sit.
Let it soak a little.
But do you have a place for Chase?
Chase? Yes, I do. I think
If you
it is.
don't, I'll chase you, and I will chase you.
You little bugger. I can't hold my phone. Hold on.
I put a bunch of butter on Clayton.
All right.
Classic.
I actually apparently I did put Great Days in my ranking.
Oh yeah, it was
Take
right,
it off.
right below Bloody Stream, right?
It was right below Bloody Stream and right above Chase at number 3. Chase being number 4.
Number 1 being.
End of the world.
Anyway, we cannot do that ever again.
Okay.
Sounded great. What are you talking about?
How was this little Derby part 3? How was it for you?
It was awesome. There were a lot of moments during this part that made us laugh really hard.
When he threw up out of the dice, it's just the
It's
dice
like,
sitting
bleh.
there. It's like, bleh.
There was a wonderful moment, one of my favorite Rohan moments that happened, and Clayton knew it was coming too. Where
was so
where
great.
Clayton, where Rohan and Josuke, who by the way they can't stand each other, they start laughing together. Like they have this little maniacal laugh because Rohan is clearly caught on that these die are loaded, and Josuke is like awkwardly trying to act cool. So they're laughing, and then Clayton's like, Rohan's about to do something fucking insane, and immediately he stabs his pinky finger off his hand.
One of the funniest moments I've ever seen in JoJo is just like,
Yeah,
like,
it's
just
so
like-
sudden, and it's so good. And then commence and then the episode I think like ends. I think the episode like.
I think that's towards the end of that episode, and then the beginning of next episode is Lock Guy showing up, and then
Right.
a very similar thing happened where we could hear the sirens and the alien was freaking out, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, it's because Rohan's house is on fire," and then it was, which is so funny that they
Yeah.
just didn't notice his house is burning to ashes.
so funny.
That is such funny, like situational irony.
Yes.
That like you're like, oh my god, these sirens. Oh, they keep getting louder. That's so funny that they happen to be passing by, and then it's like, oh wait, they're parking in front of Rohan's house. Oh, that's weird.
I think it's so funny how like Josuke isn't even like a villain or anything, but somehow he has like absolutely ruined Rohan's life.
Yeah.
Like Rohan already hated him, and this was that's why people call him the Squidward of Part 4.
Yeah,
It's really funny.
100%.
Yeah, that was great.
But that leads to probably my favorite stand battle of the part thus far.
Really,
Maybe
more
I'm
than
trying to
sheer
think.
heart attack.
More than I really like that, but I don't know if it's the stand battle mechanics of it that I like.
Yeah.
I think I just like everybody beating Kira's ass.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the stand battle itself here, and I actually don't know if I put this stand in my little rank.
Highway Star.
Highway Star, I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of. It's got little sniffing feet
Yeah.
everywhere. It's got smelly feet. And they do speed, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Josuke, he can't slow down or the feet are going to catch him and
Yeah.
grab him and suck his nutrients out.
And it's a little bond. It's kind of a bonding experience for Rohan and Josuke a little bit
Yes.
because it literally just happened where his house burned down, and now they're on a bus together.
They both do like the classic Joe Bro machismo thing where Josuke goes back and Rohan's like, Josuke, you can't come in here. He's like basically trying to sacrifice himself. He's like,
He's
you
stuck
have
in
to
the
just
mirage.
run. It's too late for me. And Josuke's like, okay, well, how about this? And then he immediately steps inside.
Because I'm not one to cower away.
Yeah. And then he saves the day. Rohan sends him a little message. I don't remember how. He writes it somewhere.
Rohan writes on him, "You will fly back at 70 kilometers per hour,"
Hell yeah.
and he does.
And he sure does.
So he has that ability.
Nice.
Yeah. Right before that, we get a very famous Rohan meme, the "I refuse." That's a big meme in the community where he's like, where Highway Star is like, "Call Josuke in and I'll let you live." And he's like, "Are you really? You let me live? Really?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then he goes, and then there's this big dramatic panning shot to his face, and he goes, "I refuse. I like telling people no when they want something desperately." I don't know why that became a meme, but I think it is funny inherently that it is. But yeah, Josuke gets on. He steals Rohan's bike,
Yes.
and he drives
Fixes
away
it.
from Dofichi.
Yes. He drives all over town.
Uh-huh.
He drives over a baby.
Yes, that part was awesome.
It is awesome.
Love it. I really love this fight. I love it so much.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Then Koichi. What happens with this lady?
She is like she's not giving him any information because Koichi gets called up to figure out what hospital bed the stand user's in. They figure out that he's somewhere in the hospital, and he's like, "Hey, can you tell me where this guy is?" And she goes, "You're a little fucking annoying snot-nosed brat kid. Get the fuck out of here." And he goes, "Act 3." And then Act 3's like,
Let's kill the hoe.
"All right, master. Let's kill the hoe, bitch."
And that's fucking.
That's his
That
soul.
is his soul.
That's his soul.
He's a little incel
Yeah.
after Yukako.
Yeah.
And
It works.
Yeah. Then she's like, "Wait, please, you got to help me." And he's like, "I don't know, ho. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. Actually."
Yeah.
He's like, the wage gap is actually not even real. That's what Koichi's soul is saying. But then Josuke goes flying into an elevator.
That was
it's awesome.
crashing through the window, just so comedically.
It's really funny. It's really funny. He pulls a lot of interesting uses with Crazy Diamond throughout his chase through the city.
Yeah.
Where he keeps like finding new ways to beat Highway Star. Of course, it doesn't work. Highway Star is relentless, but like he traps him in a car at one point, and then he refuels his bike with the car's like fuel, and Josuke just like is just so cool in these episodes.
He's awesome.
He goes hard.
He's an awesome guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we find him in the hospital bed, and he's like killing it with the ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
Yuya
got
Fungami.
3 ladies.
3 ladies.
I'm remembering the video. You
Yeah.
showed us last
If my nose is correct, one of you 3 is on your period.
Who
Which
is
one
it?
is it? Me.
It's me. It was the one where someone edited Josuke to be like, it's me
Yeah.
instead of.
It was pretty funny though when he's like, "I smell someone has adrenaline pumping," and he forgets that Josuke's like in the room.
Yeah.
I mean, Josuke's
Well, because he thinks he's like basically dead from.
he's drained, yeah.
Drained in nutrients.
But he drank some IV, and that got him. That was like some Pedialyte for him.
Yeah.
'Cause it got him all nice and going.
And then he heals him before he beats him up. Obviously.
Which is great.
Obviously.
Obviously. I want to say, I think it's funny that, well, one, when we saw, after he beats up Yuya, sends him flying through the window, essentially to his death, if not for a water fountain that was below. He goes, I feel so refreshed. Like I just woke up on New Year's morning and I had a fresh pair of underwear on. And we that was like, I found it funny that we watched that for our first episode in the new year.
That
was
is
around
fun.
New Year's
Yeah.
that we
Crazy.
What's that
That's
little number?
actually insane.
It's also crazy that Josuke, that's like having clean underwear is like a special occasion to him.
Yeah. He is Joseph's son.
That's
all I'll
true.
say.
That's true.
He is his father's son. Also, it's funny that like there's a moment during the chase where he needs a phone.
Yes. Oh
So
my
he
God.
nabs a phone from a guy who's about to make a huge
Get
business
fired.
deal. Who's going like, buy, sell. He takes his phone and then accidentally breaks that phone. Instead of fixing it with Crazy Diamond, he just steals another guy's phone as he passes by.
Oh my God.
Who's about
you're
to
right. Why didn't he just fucking fix it?
It was just for comedic effect,
That's funny.
I guess. But he steals another guy's phone, a guy who's about to propose to his.
Okay, he should. That was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Because why would you propose on the phone?
And he was doing it to save the relationship too. They were on the verge of breaking up.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
that's always a good choice, though. When you're about
should
to
always
break
break
up,
up.
you should either get married or have a kid.
Have a kid.
That's how my parents got together, is over the phone when they were breaking up. They got a marriage proposal.
Really?
That's how I was conceived, actually, is over the phone while they were.
Well, guys, I have burned too many bridges today. This might be my last episode on the podcast.
Highway Star Smash or Pass.
Smash.
Okay, in
as
foot
the-
mode?
as
Or,
the
Foot mode. Okay.
Trick question.
Uh-oh.
it is a really well-designed stand.
Yeah,
It
I like
is.
it.
Genuinely, That not just a regular. I would say an enthusiastic smash on highway.
Hell yeah.
Not in foot mode. We're not doing any foot
Not
stuff.
in foot mode. He
No.
does have
You
feet.
can do a little
but-
foot stuff, Clayton. It's
I don't
okay.
want to.
It's not confirmed if Miki Taka is an alien or a Stan user. He does have a mother who he claims he brainwashed into saying
That is so funny.
that he's just like a stupid kid.
I believe him. I
But-
believe. Do you believe that he's an alien, or do you think he's a Stan user?
What do you think?
I honestly like. After watching the episode, I kind of like didn't even. I didn't even realize that we were supposed to be questioning that. I was just like,
Alien.
yeah, he's definitely an alien.
Yeah.
No, it's never confirmed.
It is
Okay.
never
It
confirmed.
has to this day never been confirmed if he's an alien or a Stan user.
Okay.
Hayden, what team are you on? Alien or Stan user?
Alien.
Alien. Josh, you think he's a Stan user?
I
Alien?
think
Whoa.
I think he's a Stan user.
Yeah. Josh is lame.
I don't know.
Whoa.
I actually like the idea that I don't know. I really
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it. I think it's really funny too how some people in JoJo, some human beings look so weird, and then we meet a real alien in JoJo, and he's just like a normal guy with elf ears.
No, I think he's actually a stand that gained sentience.
Ooh,
Interesting.
that's interesting. He does his ability is named after a music reference.
Yeah.
Like it is referred to as a stand. It's called Earth, Wind, and Fire. Smash or pass.
This
it
is
could
a-
be
no.
anything I want to be.
This is a high school alien.
Is it? Do we know his age?
Yeah, he's a high school student.
I thought he said he was 800 years old.
Well, yes, but if he's a Stan user, we don't know.
Uh-oh, Clayton's using that argument.
He is wearing a high
No, he's
school
an alien.
uniform. I don't think it's right.
You know what? I'll leave that up
Because
to
it's
Clayton.
not. It's not a stand. It's just him. He's the stand.
Let me see what his canon age is, but I guess it's a safe pass for Clayton.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna pass anyway.
Yeah. like-
yeah.
Um,
I am curious now to see what the wiki says, if it has a conclusive thing about his age. Not for the sake of Smash or Pass, just for just in general.
sure, they says 800.
Probably said 800.
Mikitaka Hazakura.
Maybe
Show
that's
me.
800 in like alien years though, and he's
Uh-huh.
actually
Just 24
16.
human days.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the
days.
the JoJo wiki says 216 in parentheses self-proclaimed.
Okay.
So that's all we have for him.
Yeah.
But if he's not that, then he's a minor. So
I mean, he's mostly presented as a high school student with a mom, so I just see him as a high school student.
Fair.
TBH.
fair. Well, one more episode to actually get into, which we kind of touched on earlier. It's the Stray Cat. How do you feel? Smash or pass? No, it's okay.
I've said I think most of what I
Yeah.
really have to say about Stray Cat.
Yeah.
I didn't love the stand or the cat itself. And I guess I like the dynamic, but even then, I don't know.
Do you like Shinobu? Like, how do you feel about Shinobu so far?
Is that
His wife.
Okay,
His
okay.
new wife.
She is interesting. It's sad. I feel bad for her.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
She's newly smitten by her husband.
Missing
Yeah.
a toenail.
And she's getting blown apart by air
Yeah.
bubble.
Yeah.
Sucks.
I do love that moment. Sorry, were you about to say something?
No.
I love that moment where Kira's like trying not to kill this woman the whole episode.
Uh-huh.
Because he's itching to kill someone. He's had to hold back to get settled in his new life, and his nails are growing so long from his murderous intent. And like she's trying to seduce him, and he's like, I want to show her who I really am. And he's about to like
He can't.
choke her, and then she senses his murderous intent, is scared, and then is like, that's so hot. That's not the moment I love, though. I just think that's funny. The moment I love is
when she gets naked for her.
no. One that I don't even think that happens. So for all those listening who haven't watched, I think for most people listening who just haven't watched this episode, I am like a pure like person. I'm like a pure guy. I don't care about stuff like that.
What are you talking
What do you want about?
Like, what?
Clayton
What
is
were
like
you gonna say?
framing me.
What were
My
you-
mom listens to this podcast. The moment I love is when Shinobu gets hurt by Stray Cat, and for a moment, Kira's like, "Oh my god, I'm so glad she's okay."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Wait, did I just care about another human being?" And he's like, well,
Yeah, that was interesting.
yeah. But then he's like, no, I'll just chalk it up to the fact I'm glad that she isn't hurt because then that would look suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah.
Maybe he's making excuses. I don't know.
But
Mayhaps.
so Highway Star was your favorite arc, and then Alien, then Stray Cat, then Drunken Kid. You'd say
Yeah,
from this
yeah.
batch is how you'd rank them.
100%.
Yeah, sounds. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think.
How do you feel going forward, knowing there's this stray cat and this little boy who knows that Kira is not his real dad?
I'm sure that this kid is the only way really for them to find Kira right now. I think. I mean, I'm sure Rohan can like look in people's brains and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, Rohan's doing some detective stuff, so I guess they have ins. But I feel like the kid is gonna find them before they find Kira.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, like, what are we doing here? You know?
I think if I were Rohan, I would like set a trap, like, but because they know about his hand thing, you know.
Do we?
So no, but they just do. Oh, because of his house, they stalked his house.
Yeah.
So I would be like, manicure convention in Morioh, like, he's got to show up to that, and then just like. That's like checking out the whole town one by one would be hard, but just open up everyone's little books at that manicure convention or whatever.
See, but he's like such a control freak. Like, does Kira even let other people touch his hands?
What? No.
No,
he wouldn't go to get a manicure. He would just be sniffing around.
He'd be scouting for his.
He would just be it's like
to
a porn
be like-
convention. People who go to porn
Okay.
conventions don't do porn. They
I get it.
He'd be
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
for his
yeah.
next girlfriend.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
you're
think
right.
he could resist
a
that.
hand modeling competition.
Yes. Oh my God! Wait, they put an ad in the mail. Who wants to be a judge for the hand modeling competition?
Kira's like, this is my life calling.
That's so funny.
Do we want to
Anyway,
talk
yeah.
about freaking
Definitely.
One Piece? That's the name of the treasure on the Grand Line?
Yes.
Before we do that, overall, how do you feel? We only have 2 episodes more to talk about part 4. How are you feeling about it right now? Because we're about to take a little break from JoJo, so I just want to get your little thoughts.
Right now, it has been what I would say about it. It has been more consistent than part 3, and it has had higher highs. But so far the difference is not like drastic to me in quality. I don't think yet. But I'm excited for the end of this arc. I think part 3 just really got to me because I love like an epic journey.
Oh, yeah.
And this maybe doesn't speak to me in the same ways, but it has much better stands. It's got much better fights and really good character writing. And it's got Jotaro Kujo again. So
Yep.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What more could you ask for?
Yeah.
Cool.
Natural human
Okay.
reaction you're having. All right, let's move on.
Now, for real, you guys.
Yeah.
For real.
I don't like that sometimes we get to One Piece and it feels like this is what y'all were waiting for.
So One Piece this week was the fucking greatest thing ever.
I am actually suing Clayton for emotional distress or whatever you call it. That was crazy.
We read a decent chunk of chapters this week.
About
and
22 of them. About 20, give or take none, because it was 22.
Oh my god!
When did this batch start again? What happened?
Right, getting on to
Yeah.
They just got there. Yes.
Luffy had just slungshot himself onto Eni's lobby,
Yes.
and they were starting the raid.
and then he kills 1,000 cops.
Kills 1,000 cops, and he's like, he
Confirmed.
killed like 5, and then he dies, and then he's like, oh yeah, he killed 5.
I was wondering if this was going to maintain the momentum that the last batch had. At first, I was a little concerned. I'm not going to lie. I was like, this is a pretty standard battle. Eni's lobby is very cool. There's cool stuff happening, but I'm not like blown away yet. But it was really, I think what really took me, what eventually like run me over, and made this one of my favorite little sections we've read was Luffy, man. Just everything Luffy was doing.
Yeah.
We saw Gear 2.
Yeah.
I was waiting for these fucking gears to arrive. I was like, where's Gear 1? I guess we've been in Gear 1 the whole time. I still don't know what Gear 2 is. I don't know exactly what he did.
It's funny, in my mind, I thought that he explained what Gear 2 is in this section, but I guess not.
No.
Yeah, not really, no.
No.
No, yeah, I have read all the chapters now, and indeed, he does not say what's happening.
I'm assuming he will at some point. It will be explained what this is.
Yes.
Because if it's not, I will drop One Piece.
There is a very definitive explanation of
Okay.
exactly what is happening
Because
in a way that makes sense.
as long as it's definitive. Because I do remember, like, the explanation for how he survived being impaled by Croc, which was such an incredible moment, really let me down. It was just like, I ate some meat, and then I was better. And there was no extra struggle than that, other than getting out of the sand pit. I'll be honest, like, I really hope nothing like that ever happens again, because I feel like that deflated a moment for me later on, like retroactively.
Well, it's probably just because his organs are rubber and got pushed around, so he only got.
I can believe it. I just think that it takes some of the gravity away because of the way it was. The way it wasn't focused on after that.
Sure.
It's like, oh, so what you're telling us is you pump faked this. Like, this wasn't as severe as we thought.
What are we doing right now?
No, what was?
What I mean is, like, I like explanations. I like.
Yeah, we're gonna get.
We
yeah,
are.
100%.
How long have we been doing this? How many chapters have we read at this point? And you still have not.
I don't let go.
Accepted these expectations of this story, of this piece of media.
I can accept them. I don't have to be happy about them. My point. I'm sorry. I'm not.
But why are you talking about it as if you're still like?
Because I realized whenever I read something like this, which feels more, it feels like he's getting more succinct as he's going. I look back a bit, and it makes me reflect on, like, maybe things that, by comparison, don't look as good. And so I hadn't realized how that moment for me was a little altered by things that happened. And I'm just hoping that doesn't happen with so many amazing moments that have been happening lately. But it gives me confidence that you're saying that there's an explanation.
Yes.
Sorry, no, I didn't mean to, like, I got a little ahead of myself or a little behind myself with that explanation. Sorry, let's talk about
the Bluno
Enies
fight
Lobby.
is so fucking great.
Yeah.
Seeing him just like
What was
before
he doing?
even Gear 2ing, just like rocking, just punching him so hard out of Iron Body. It's awesome.
Wait,
Yeah.
we're sorry. I was not present for the whole time you were talking about it. But were you asking if Gear 2 was going to be explained?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And it is.
Yeah.
Good.
That was so good. The design of I was telling Clayton this earlier. I don't want to get into it, but like I think I have a theory of an understanding of how Gear 2 works, just in the way that it was like drawn and talked about. Which I really, really enjoy. That like I was telling Clayton, I really enjoy that this is seemingly a technique. Because when I'd first, like, I knew about, like, gears going into the story, and I was like, I like, equated it to, like, Super Saiyan, and I was going to be a little, I don't know, if it was just, like, Super Saiyan Luffy, I was like, okay, I'm going to be down, but I think I'm much more down with this being, like, a thing that he has to do, you know?
Which is like, what is he doing?
He he was
what
using his legs were kind of pumping, like, I would kind of like pistons, it looked like. I don't know if that was
I feel like
purpose.
it's like something like super fast enough to like heat up his whole body. Something's happening very fast.
Yeah.
The molecules are vibrating.
Because there's steam coming from, which
Yeah.
is so cool.
Fucking awesome. Awesome.
Oh yeah, but just the moments where
Probably
he was,
smells like burning rubber.
the moments where he was just kind of like breaking through Bluno's defenses, smashing him into pieces of the roof, and just like he used the shave technique.
He did.
Yeah, I
crazy.
figured out how to do it.
I just love that he did explain that he was like, I've realized I need to get stronger. After Aokiji, I don't want to lose any friends. I almost did. So I've decided to get serious finally, and not I'm not going to be overconfident anymore. And also I think he alludes to this when he's in the train on the way here in the last section. He's like, yeah, I have a new move I want to use. So this was really cool. He does the famous Gear 2 pose, I guess, right? Where he's
yes, the first time he I think a lot of times, not always when he uses Gear 2, but usually that's he gets his legs all spread out and puts his arm down. I love the imagery of his legs doing that thing too.
It was fucking so cool.
And then right before Blue Note goes down, he's like, "Oh, you're still standing? All right, I guess I'm gonna show you something cool." And
he puts his thumb in his
does
mouth.
Something, and I don't know what that is.
Reminded me of, I think I have an idea of what that is. I was like, "Oh, we're about to see Gear 3."
Yeah.
But it reminded me. I think doesn't Attack on Titan have a little move where he bites his thumbs?
That's how they turn into the Titans, as they bite their fingers.
They have to get like cut or hurt somehow, so a lot of times they just like bite themselves.
That's how I used to get loose teeth out as a kid. As my dad would like put his thumb in my mouth and like flick the teeth out.
Clayton is hurting from that explanation.
Grody.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty hardcore. What can I say?
Yeah, it was good. It's a good moment.
Yeah.
The crew is also really pulling their weight.
Yeah.
They go flying over the fence.
Those king bulls are fucking
Sodom and Gomorrah.
killing it.
Yeah.
Wrecking shop.
Awesome.
I thought it was funny that they... Oh, sorry, did I cut you off?
Oh, go ahead.
I thought it was funny that they did all this work to get those gates open just for them to be like,
Oh my god.
oh, there's a train coming. Close the gates.
Zoro fucking did a ramp like above. That was his idea. That's so funny to me. And it
Yokozuna, invaluable to this mission.
Who?
The frog.
Froggy.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, when he just
did
like
a good job.
stood in the doorway and killed cops.
Yes. The moment where what Spandam was like, okay, let's little status update. Let's see what's been happening, and he finds out everything that's been happening, and it's just like, we are losing so bad. And like when they find out that he like beat Bluno basically, and it was like, oh my god, oh my god. And it's like right in front of Robin and Frankie too. He was trying to like intimidate them.
When he looks at the way he's like, oh fuck, it's Luffy, and then like specifically the panel where it's like Luffy and right behind him is Bluno with like a blood puddle underneath him. It's like, fuck yeah, baby.
Yes. Very cool.
Yeah. I will say, I think my one tiny little thing I didn't super love about this chapter is the power levels of all of CP9, which I think makes sense. I think I'm framing it as like not a thing that matters, but it's just a dumb thing that CP9 does. That doesn't mean anything.
Well, because it's one guy.
Yeah.
Like, this is the number. It's like, okay,
Right.
whatever you say, buddy.
Yeah.
I think Oda likes to have, like, for example, Baroque Works had like, oh, we had all the numbers, so we know like obviously Zoro is gonna fight Mr. 1, and Sanji's probably gonna fight Mr. 2. And CP9 obviously they don't have like ranks like that, so I think that was him just being like,
Here's the hierarchy.
here's how strong everybody is, so that you have context for later.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like Bluno, he was 800. Luffy whooped him, but like Usopp would have been in trouble.
Yeah.
True.
Speaking of Usopp, we got a great Usopp moment. The moment with the giants.
Yes.
Oh.
Which is so great because they kind of like subverted your expectation a little, because I thought he was going to use his lying to like take advantage of being a good liar, but it was actually like literally the opposite. He was like, let me tell you the truth, actually, because you have been being lied to. That was so awesome.
Yeah.
I for a second I was like, no way, is that Broggy and Dory? And I was like, no way. It's like, there are other giants in the world. Like, not all giants know each other, but they did.
Apparently they do.
Yeah.
Even Saul is very aware of the Elbaf
Yeah.
giants, but
Yeah. Well,
we'll get
Elbaf
to-
is where all giants originally hail
right.
from.
More on that later, but
Yeah.
like the Oimo Kashi obviously grew on me. At first,
Yeah.
I was not a fan, just because they look ridiculous. But
True.
they had a real story going on,
Yeah.
and they come back through for our heroes. And I was gonna say, I was like, wow, how loose was their security with these giants that they just we'll just lie to them, and then nothing bad will happen. But I was also like, oh well, what would be the odds?
Yeah.
That that a crew would come, one that would just like attack Ennie's lobby, and two that they would be the same crew that ran into their chiefs from Elbaf.
Because they believed him because
He could describe.
he had the information.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he could describe even what they were like. He said even what their laughs were like. So loved that.
Yeah.
Zoro, Sanji, Nami just whoop all kinds of ass.
Yeah.
Paulie and the other Gali Law guys, dude. Everyone's just throwing down.
I love when they're like, quick, get the smaller ones, and Nami like kills like 20 guys at once, and they're
Yeah.
like, okay, that we actually need to worry about.
She's a warrior.
Yeah.
Luffy took out over 1,000 soldiers.
Yeah.
in this
2,000,
time.
right?
Well,
2,000
2,000 was
casualties, but
Yeah.
1,000 of them
just taken
Oh,
out
yeah,
by
yeah.
Luffy.
Yeah.
Which
Awesome.
was so fun to watch.
Yep.
Luffy may have jumped up a spot for me. Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
doing
this is
good
cool.
here.
He
He
is.
really, really is.
And also, I was telling this to Josh while we were reading it together, but it was cool that I just feel like I don't think they are particularly like the fact that they are succeeding in this seemingly unattainable mission is not because like they are the most powerful people on the Grand Line or the most powerful crew of pirates or whatever. It's like they're just the first ones to try doing that. Like they're the only ones who are like.
They
I
also
feel like
want it
yes,
so bad.
and
Yeah.
but that's the point. Is like I feel like there are so many people who are capable of doing this, even though everyone's like it's impossible. But like they're kind of just proving that it's like it's not that hard. Like yeah, it's crazy. You got to
Yeah.
be crazy strong, but like it's doable.
And you gotta
you're just a bunch of pussies basically.
Yep.
You also got to really care about your crewmates.
yeah.
They're doing this for two guys, and really just one.
Really
guy,
just one
yeah,
guy.
one
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure that like other pirates could have, but did they care enough about their boys? Or I mean,
No. See, that's the thing too. Is like Luffy here is like spitting in the face of this power structure, and even like Luffy just does not care at all about like the threats of Enies Lobby or anything like that. Where it's like even the other pirates who may be capable of this still like can like there's like that power structure, and they still like care about the power structure of the world, and Luffy just does not give a shit, which is awesome.
And also, seemingly, I after what they've done, we'll get more into like the specific capstone of what they've done here in
Yeah.
a sec. But there certainly will be consequences to this. Like everything is going to be different for them after this has happened.
Can we fucking talk about it already, you
Let's
guys?
get into
Frankie
it.
does a big fart. I want to bring that up.
I
Frankie, big
love
fart.
it. He's like, hey, guess what, motherfucker? I'm going to kill everybody in this room, even myself.
I'm not gonna lie.
Because Spandam is just like, fuck, no!
it was so funny because we were reading this, and it was like coming off this really serious moment where Frankie was like, You're not gonna get rescued. All your friends, their efforts are gonna be for nothing if you just sit here and wait to get rescued. I'm gonna get you out of here. It's this really tender moment, and then we look back, and then all of a sudden we see his giant inflated ass, and me and Adriana were just like, we just stopped reading for a second and just like put our head in our hands because it's like, Oda, you're not really disguising this fetish
Oh
very
my
well. Okay,
God.
you're not really doing it that well.
Ugh.
But yeah, he explodes out of there with a
He
coup
exploded out
d'etat.
of the scene.
Yeah, exploded instead of onto.
Yeah.
Escapes, Frankie just has so many good moments.
I love Frankie.
And then it's
I
time.
love Frankie so much.
I know we're skipping over a lot, but then it's time for a flashback.
Yeah, because we get that moment right before the flashback with all of them standing, talking
the
to
imagery
Robin.
of them like stood there.
Oh my
Literally.
God.
Iconic.
So good.
Somehow even better with Usopp as Sniper King too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
he's
think
got
it's-
his new weapon, his
Oh
new
yeah,
slingshot.
the
Yeah.
big staff one. Now remind me, just
Sure
because it's
thing,
been
man.
a couple weeks since
It's in your
a
heart.
week since I've read.
You're
it.
gonna ask where Sniper Adam.
Okay, yeah, I was.
Say what were you saying?
The is
I just
We just didn't register that until just now.
or Sniper Island.
Sorry, you were gonna ask where Sniper Island.
I didn't register that.
is in the framing of this, Robin is not. Is she explaining the backstory to the crew, or is
No.
she's
No.
just reflecting on it? Okay,
It's once the flashback is over, she has the line where she's like, "Spandam, this is what's going to happen because this is what," and she has
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
brief
cool.
explanation
Okay, cool. But she's just
of like
reflecting on it.
what
Yeah.
a Buster Call
Yeah.
really means.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a lot of
we get
details
this
to cover
backstory.
in,
we get
in
this
that moment.
backstory with a Robin backstory that we have all been
God.
waiting
I'm
on.
almost certainly going to cry on the podcast.
It was so interesting too because we saw the volume cover, we saw little Robin, and then when it gets into the 20 years ago, me and Adriana were both like, this is it. Like, we lived in a world that was pre Nico Robin flashback. We're about to never live in that world again because Robin's mysticism is about to be extinguished here, or the mystery surrounding her character. Hopefully it pays off. It did. It absolutely did. This
You
was
see
a great backstory.
O'Hara, which is like, for so long we've been talking about like the demons of O'Hara, and I love just immediately. It's like, no, they're just a bunch of fucking smart nerds. They're just a bunch of dweebs.
It's propaganda.
Yep.
It's a,
So
mo-
much
it's a, it's a
100%.
little
Like
example of propaganda.
Propaganda.
yeah.
They're scholars. They're trying to
just-
figure out the lost
And they got the
history.
big tree.
Very-
And Robin got a doctorate at 8 years old.
Yeah.
Yep.
Amazing.
Robin was so stressed this whole time how alone she feels. Even when she's with people that she loves, they still have to have to
Distance
push her
her,
away
yeah.
because they're trying to protect her, and then other people are just distanced from her because of her abilities or because she's an unwanted daughter in her household. It's so Oda did not stop flooding the emotions, like whenever he was just drawing every instance of Nico Robin, her face every time, whether it's a blank like stolid expression or when
Yeah.
she's like
The
she
way
just-
he draws her in like those simple moments when like she like reads the letter from her aunt. And it's like you can see how accustomed she is to like the pain of all that. And it's just brutal.
I can't even like consider, like, I can't even like tell you what the cry count is because like literally the whole time I was sobbing.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Adriana kept breaking.
Like
It was sad.
The fact that what particularly got me was the time when she was like, I just want to like hold hands with my mom or something like that. Just the fact that she is so accustomed to this lifestyle, but she still has like an idea of what it should be like, and like
She's still like a kid.
Yeah.
Like, so much a kid.
but it's just like that's such a, I don't know, that's just such a specific like thing that she like knows, like she knows about without ever having experienced it. It's just like inherently something that she wants and like feels like you know, she's missing in her life and stuff. And it was just so
It hit hard.
yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah. And then this giant watches up on shore.
Who's got a little
Saul.
D in his name.
Dude,
Saul
what the
D.
fuck is that about?
This is actually starting to
It's
piss me
what
off.
is going on?
That's
What is
Luffy's
going-
dad.
He said it's
Yeah.
all. He said everyone, his family has that little initial.
Yeah. What?
Is Gold D Roger, Portcast D Ace, and Monkey D Luffy, and Blackbeard D whatever, Terrence D Blackbeard,
Marshall D.T.
Marshall D Teach, are they all related to these giants now?
I would say
What's going
that
on?
No, it's
judging
not a
by
genetic relation.
Yeah, Saul being a giant, as well as some of these characters being different races. I would say we can safely assume that they are not a family.
Obviously,
It's
but
not
it's
like
just
a
like
lineage.
it just
No.
it makes you think because there are half giants too.
Yeah.
So it's like
I'm thinking, is it a crew thing? Like, was there an original crew that all of these people are descendants of, and everyone on that crew is like, all right, we're gonna name all our kids like with the D middle name or something, or we're gonna name us all with.
We're gonna pass on the will
Yeah,
of the D.
we're all one family now, and so we're all gonna have the same name, and that was like a crew, and then now everyone's like descendants of that crew somehow.
Honestly, that's a solid theory.
think it
I enjoy
could be
that.
cool,
yeah.
yeah.
really like trying to stop myself from asking Clayton if he knows what it is or if he's been.
Well, he's not gonna
confirmed.
tell us.
He's not gonna tell us. I know, but it's like I'm wondering like how long can Oda hold on to this little secret and
forever,
keep teasing it
forever.
Like I would.
Yeah, I want to. I
in the
am really
hand-
curious when we're gonna find out.
Because like
or like
it's
how
been-
long? Yeah.
At this point, we've known Luffy's middle initial since we met him
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning, and at this point in One Piece, I mean, he's been writing it for at least a few years at this point. Like, how can he hold on to such a juicy little secret much longer?
I assume that we'll probably delve into that when Blackbeard comes back. I have to assume that that'll probably be when we confront it. But
Yeah.
I want
That's
so
not what
many
we're-
people back. Sorry, this is
Yeah.
kind of a tangent. I want guys back. I want.
show me him on the moon. Show me him on the moon.
I don't give a shit about him. Okay, not that guy.
Well,
he can have fun. He can go hang out up there with Wallace and Gromit.
on
okay?
one of the 6 moons.
Oh, what? Yeah.
What?
Okay, me and Josh were like, okay, is this like solar system in Ohara, the tree in the library in Ohara?
There's a globe.
There's like a globe with a bunch of moons around it, but it didn't look like the globe that we got shown with the red line going around it. Like it wasn't the same continental like shapes and stuff. So I was like, that doesn't look like the planet we're on. I thought it was, but like, what could it be? Josh thinks it's this planet, and that this planet has 6 moons.
One of the moons has a moon too.
Just say whether that is actually an important piece of information, or should we just like not really consider, not really think about it?
As far as I know, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Okay.
But that is a confirmation of how many. Like,
But
what
it
other
didn't
planet
look
would
like
it be?
the planet.
You know,
I don't know. I do not know the image you're referring to, so I can't.
it's in the library. Anyway, I guess it's not important.
Yeah.
It's just a sculpture in the lobby of the library. That's all. Yeah.
But yeah, no. Shanks, come back already. God damn it, Shanks.
I'm not thinking. I was thinking literally about Bon Clay. Funny enough, before we got
Yeah.
even before we got the cover story stuff, and I'm like, yes, this is literally what I was waiting for. I want Bon Clay, but I want a lot lot of the villains.
I
but
miss Buggy so much.
Yeah.
It's not even funny how much
Yeah.
I miss Buggy.
Where is he at?
Where is Buggy? Also, I just realized we don't actually know Shanks' full name, so he could very well have a D in his name too.
Shanks D. Shanks.
Yeah, red hair. All we know
Quick-
him as his
Yeah.
nickname, and then his last name Shanks.
The globe that we see in Ohara is what's called a geocentric globe. So back when societies thought that the solar system orbited around the Earth, that is the kind of globes that they would make, this kind of solar mapping that they would make. So that is basically, theoretically, you could assume that the middle is the planet, and
So
there's
we
a
are
moon and other
So
planets.
those are the other
going around.
planets.
we are not in a heliocentric era right now.
Yeah, it's the
of
1500s.
That's interesting.
Or this is also, these are Ohara. I could see
It
them
is a
having that
history
without
library,
necessarily.
but it was
believing
just such a huge sculpture.
It was,
seemed
yeah.
like so like
Important.
yeah.
That makes so much sense. Because also, like, at this point, we've only ever seen one moon in the sky. And the moon is
Yeah.
shown a lot in One Piece. So,
And he's on there. So
And he's on there. That's cool. Okay, thank you for answering that.
Yeah.
A lot of great Zoro moments too. In just in
Yes,
general, where
yeah.
he's like lost again, but he's kicking ass, and
And he just goes up.
he's like, oh wait, just gotta go up. and then he like
You know,
corkscrews up.
say all you want about him, but that is actually a pretty good strategy if you are that fucked up at
Yeah.
directions.
Sure.
If you go up enough, you'll be able to see what's happening where you need to get to in one way or another.
I'm surprised
Yeah.
he knows which way is up at this point. So that's just me.
Yeah.
So
So
Robin's a kid.
Robin's
Robin's a little
She's so alone. She's so sad.
and they're like,
And-
never talk about the point glyphs.
Never do
even
that.
though we do it. Don't do
Yeah.
it.
Don't do it.
And that little moment of her being like, "Well, I wanted to do this so you'd stop keeping me out.
Uh-huh.
I could hang out with y'all." And it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which they really, I feel, not to like, not that I have these expectations of these adults, but they are adults and they know Robin's deal and everything. And I mean, they know, like, I don't know, like, I'm not saying they should have adopted her or anything, but the way they handled that was not the most, like, productive, like, sensitive way to handle that to a kid. It's not like, oh, never do this, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I guess that's how a lot of parents are if they don't really know, if they don't, know anything about how to treat kids. But like, she's doing this as a cry for help because, for exactly that. Just make her feel welcome in other ways, and she won't need to rebel.
They're a bunch of nerds. You can't expect their
Well,
social skills to be
no,
good.
that's so true. This is literally This is literally like trying to heal, like literally like. This is. I know. I'm like, projecting. Like fucking, healthy parenting practices onto this little fake fictional child.
I know, but she needs it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's not like their approach doesn't work, right?
No, but I
I'm
get
saying,
what you're saying.
yeah.
Like, there's if what they're trying to do is keep her away from the point glyph to keep her safe, there's better ways to handle it than just yelling at her that she can never do this because that's only going to make her want to do it more.
They really just yell at her and they don't really listen to why she's doing it and like addressing that. You know what I mean? Talking it out.
They
and
seem
stuff.
to really.
But this is sorry. Go ahead.
No, I interrupted you.
I don't know. I don't think you did. But
Oh.
I was just gonna say this is not a perfect way.
Pretty soon the Navy comes.
Yeah, I'm
The
just gonna
Navy
say
comes.
I'm sure with time they would have worked it out, but there was no time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Saul arrives, and Saul is kind of an omen. I mean, he doesn't know it yet, and he doesn't know he's even on O'Hara. But when
Yep.
he does figure it out, he's like, "Oh shit!" And you're the daughter of. Is Olivia or Olvia?
Olvia.
Okay.
I actually
Okay.
didn't know that until this read through. I read it, and even like halfway through these chapters, I was still reading it as Olivia. But
I didn't
There-
realize
it's
it
Nico Olvia.
until
At a
right
few points,
now.
it's spelled as Olivia too.
oh wow,
Yeah, so it might be. It might just be a weird like translation thing.
I think it's a translation thing because I looked it up.
It's Olvia?
It is Olvia.
Okay. Well, Olvia was looking for the pony list with a crew.
Yeah. And she left Robin when Robin was just a little kid.
Oh man, can't do that. She
Can't
should.
do that.
She was like, I was wrong for that. I
Yeah.
don't have any. I don't have like any. I was a bad parent for that. At least she was doing it in service of the world, But she didn't act like she was, that she was like owed any sort of relationship with her daughter after that. She was like,
Yeah.
I don't deserve this, and I like that. I like that was. It made her character a little more redeemable in that sense, and
Not to me. Sorry.
a little less irredeemable.
Yeah.
And it was just heartfelt. The one moment they got together.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah,
happens.
The
before
denial
that.
right before that, though, because we get the Buster call. We knew that was going to happen. But the moment like before where they're dragging her off and she is like begging for her mom to just give her a moment of, because she like Robin knew 100% in that moment.
Yeah.
And it was just so hard to see, like, especially that you're focusing on this. You're seeing Olvia like make that decision because she thinks that this is the best way to take care of her daughter.
No, it's
And
not. No,
it's
no,
not-
I'm sorry. Wait. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Continue. Go ahead.
Yeah, which is like not the way to do this, but it's like you see the pain, and it's just such a hard and difficult moment, and getting even though it doesn't make up for any of it, but just the little moment of her actually acknowledging like her daughter. I added a new subset to my cry counts, which is like sob counts, because like my cry counts before have always been like, oh yeah, I'm shedding a tear or two, but this was like I was legitimately blubbering, like I was making uncontrollable noise.
I got a cry count out of seeing her realize it was her mom as she was taken away. Just her desperately being like, "Mother, don't leave me alone again."
That's what I'm disagreeing with you about. That is not her. Oh, it's the best way to take care of my daughter or whatever. She made her choice, like that. Her daughter is not a priority. Her career, her like calling
Mission.
is. Her
Yeah.
mission is like. That's not like, oh, it's the I'm this is the best for you, that I don't have contact with you because it's just gonna hurt you more. It's more like I can't get attached. I can't form an attachment here because that will interfere.
In the Buster call, that was surely like I thought the Buster call was during the Buster call it was explicitly because if they know she's my daughter, the government will kill her.
Oh yeah, that too. But like, who wants to like? Yeah, I mean, like in the normal way that you wouldn't want an innocent child to be killed. I'm not saying that she doesn't have any feelings for Robin or any like maternal feelings for Robin. I just think that looking at it through the lens of like making this sacrifice for the good of the child, it would be inaccurate. I think it's like making this sacrifice for the good of, like, this is the best way to handle this terrible thing that I'm doing to this kid.
Well, I think I don't know, the way I looked at it is she's sacrificing this potential moment to see her daughter again in order for her daughter to be safe.
Yeah.
That's what she thinks she's doing.
Yeah.
Which is
I guess
what I'm
so.
going.
And that moment was heartbreaking because she goes, you don't even see her eyes, you just see tears running down her cheeks, and she goes, I think you're mistaking me for someone else.
You know what? I forgot about the element of like that she would be killed. I thought you were saying like, oh, I need to like not talk to my daughter because then she'll get attached to me and it'll hurt her. I actually forgot that at that point they were in front of the other guys as well.
Yeah. Like, do you know, is this your daughter? Do you know this girl?
Right.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's like, no, I don't.
No, okay, with that context, that makes
Though it does
The
lead
first
to
one,
Robin
definitely.
saying, "But Mom, I am your daughter. In fact, I even learned to read poneglyphs just like you."
Did she say that? Okay, so she does say that.
Yes, yeah.
Which is just so brutal, and then leads into, because of that information and like I believe as we hear over the phone, some of the 5 elders listening in, they're like, okay, O'Hara has to be like raised,
All
and
of
then
them,
that leads to the Buster call, which is like the way it is portrayed. This is the first time we see a government that is not just corrupt, but like absolutely tyrannical and evil.
Mm-hmm.
They are doing it. This
They're
is a
book
genocide, and they are
Yes,
book burning.
yes.
They're trying to erase history and slaughter innocent women, men, and children.
I thought for a second the Navy guys were even gonna not escape. I thought they were gonna.
I mean, a lot of them got
I'm
exploded.
sure.
Yeah.
They burned to death.
Yeah.
People in that train on that island burned to
They
death.
destroyed a civilian ship too.
Yeah.
They destroyed the evacuees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who that guy? I hope that fucking guy gets ripped apart
Yeah.
later.
Well, we
We
see
saw young Aokiji.
Kainu. That's the guy.
Akainu.
We met him before. Right?
Sakazuki, we have never met. We get his name. All the admirals have an epithet, so like Aokiji and Akainu.
Oh, we've
both
heard
epithets.
of him. Okay.
But then their names are Kuzan, as we learn in this chapter, and Sakazuki. But Akainu, I don't think we had met at all before this.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't
then
think-
I think that's the first time we see him.
I think we've heard his name listed as one of the 3 admirals.
Probably. That would make sense.
Dude, Aokiji is one of the most interesting characters we have gotten.
So. Oh, but I want to talk really quick
No,
about
go
since we're
ahead.
in Buster Call. Saul, skyrocket. I think Saul is one of my favorite characters so
The
far.
fact that he was a deserter.
Yeah, the fact that he was like, "Oh,
He was a
you're
vice
doing
admiral.
I'm a vice admiral. You're doing a Buster Call? No, I'm not going to be a part of this. Bye."
He talks to Olvia, and then they're like, "All right, we're getting the fuck out of it." You know,
I
that could have been a
love
whole
it,
that could have
right?
been a whole arc in its own.
Because
Yeah.
it's
You know?
the first like government deserter that we're getting, which is like the only way you can have any sort of character that exists in the government that I'm like, okay, I enjoy you, is being like at the first sign of like, oh, we're gonna do something fucked up. Be like, no, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope Saul comes back. I really enjoyed his.
He was
character.
not confirmed dead. He was frozen last time we saw him.
He was fully frozen. I'm saying in One Piece rules
Yeah,
of how death
obviously.
is handled, there's a small chance
Usually
that Saul.
the flashbacks are pretty
pretty strewn with death.
yeah,
Yeah.
like true
It's
death.
just like I hope even if it's not like Saul coming back in the main story, I hope we see him again.
oh sure.
In,
Well, he's got the D. I feel like he's got the D middle
Yeah.
initial, so I feel like we're gonna hear more about him for sure, right?
I will also say, so for me, I'm not revealing anything because for me, I don't know nothing more about Saul than y'all do. But I will say the ability he got hit with was called Time Capsule. So I always kind of took that as like, I think
Oh,
in
that's
that
what
moment,
Aokiji did to him.
yes, he said ice
Yeah.
time capsule
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
froze him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I took that as like Aokiji like saved Saul is what I think happened.
Uh-huh.
Aokiji is it's crazy though to see. Typically, in both Aokiji and in the case of Saul, it's kind of like if you have this many moral hangups about what's going on, how did you reach your position? You were at the top of the Navy nearly, and
Yeah.
now all of a sudden you're like, this is too far. You know, I'm like wondering how you get there.
Because of the so many manipulation tactics lead people there.
Uh-huh.
The foot in
yeah.
the door, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Where it's like,
so
yeah.
many, and yeah, it's very believable.
If
I
you
guess-
do
I guess
this
so.
thinking that you're like, if you're convinced that the people you're doing this to are villains, then you're not gonna have those moral hangups, you know. And it's like
Yeah.
sometimes it's not until you're actually confronted with that, like you get your beliefs challenged for the first time, which sometimes part of those military operations is ensuring that those beliefs never get challenged, right? Like if you're just raising cities, killing pirates and things like that, you're not going to leave them, like you're not going to let them talk to you, you know? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like they're not going to allow beliefs to get challenged.
I guess like is this the first instance of a Buster Call that they had seen at least?
It was the first time, right? That's what they said, because it was a new maneuver that the military was
Whoa.
implementing.
Okay.
Yeah.
believe so.
Well, then
This
I
is
guess
the first
that
Buster
leaves
Call.
room for it to be pretty believable.
Yeah.
I would say as well, I gotta leave in 20 minutes. So, do we want
Uh-huh.
to start talking about the end of this
Yeah, we
flashback?
do.
Yeah.
He tells her to live. He tells her to go find. Saul tells her to go find her friends. She is led to, when she's looking for his raft, she's led to Aokiji, who is like, I am gonna give you this just this once, which it was alluded to that he saved her once before. So he's like, if I ever find you again, I'm your enemy. And then she watches her world burn down as she floats away. It's incredible. It's an incredible imagery.
See her, just the little moments of her being given up by every other group she's ever been a part of, being sold down the river.
Everybody, her just having to like
Oh my god.
desperately like struggle to survive as like the world is literally against her. And all of these moments leading up to her looking out at her friends who came all this way for her.
And being
And
like,
Luffy.
I will become a burden on you, and you will abandon me,
Uh-huh.
and I can't let that happen.
And then Luffy's like, I know who your real enemy is.
Sniper King, shoot that flag down.
That was
I got shivers just
Yeah.
saying that. Like this, everything from shoot that flag down to the end of that chapter is, as of right now, my favorite moments in One Piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The burning flag, her saying, I want.
No, first Luffy's like, tell me that you want to live. And then she's like, I never thought I could ask for that.
Yeah, and seeing like all the flashbacks too to like first like all the horrible things she's gone through, like everybody trying to like take her rights to live away from her, saying that her existence is a crime, and then finally the flashbacks of first Saul being like, go find the people who are going to like live for you and protect you, and then Usopp saying have faith in Luffy. God,
She's crying. I want to live. I knew out of context I'd seen that panel before. It hit so fucking hard and I cried. It got another cry count out of me. And then Luffy's like, let's go. And I was like, oh, this is such an amazing place to stop for this podcast. Like,
I loved the moment where she said, I want to live, and then she said, like, take me to sea with you.
oh,
Yes. Oh,
right.
And
Because
Luffy-
that's what she would always say to her mom. That's what like she was wanted her
Take
mom.
me to sea with you.
Take me to
Yeah.
the sea.
Yeah.
I gotta
the
say-
the part where Saul was like telling her about like, oh, you'll find like friends who will, you know, like it's a big world out there. That's when I cried a lot.
I was starting to well up. Yeah.
And it's literally just the fact that this is exactly the only thing that could have happened to like win her over. It like they like they literally was like, okay, this is what's keeping you. I'm not going to tell you that I'm never going to do that because you're not going to believe me, obviously. So the only way to convince her that they weren't going to turn her in is to put themselves in the exact same position as her.
They were already wanted
to
to.
where she they were already wanted, but that was not the same. Like, declaring complete war is exactly what she knew her existence on their ship was doing.
Yep.
And so now, whether she's on their ship or not, they're in the same position.
Yeah.
And so literally for the first time in her entire life, she does not feel like a burden on someone else.
Love Luffy and just the crew's like solidarity in this. I am wondering at some point down the line, because inevitably they're going to be at war with the government. At some point they're going to be like, hey, why did we do that? Like, hey, do we have to go that far? Like, because they're gonna be just like bloody and fucked up and probably training their ass off to be able to fend off the kind of threats they're gonna be facing. And at some point, like, someone's got to be like, hey, Luffy, do you think like that was necessary?
As a joke.
Yeah,
probably.
and then
Then Luffy kills them.
yeah. He's like, don't you like Robin? Don't you love
I
our
don't
friend
think
Robin?
I don't think any of the Straw Hats would ever
No.
be like, this was wrong. They I think even if they all
Yeah.
died, they'd be like, that was the right
I
decision.
think Zoro doesn't like Robin enough to do this for this alone to be like something he's on board with. I think he's on board with this because he wants to just be him, and this will give him so many opportunities to continue.
I think he just did it because Luffy wanted to.
Yeah.
I think Zoro does like Robin,
Yeah.
and I think especially after hearing that, there's the panel
Yeah.
where like everybody's getting ready, and
Yes.
Zoro's like,
Yeah.
to the gate. And
Nami's
Nami's
like, your face is
yes.
scary.
Well, yeah, I'm just thinking that like to this point he hasn't trusted Robin. Obviously, this is going to have him trust Robin more. But like, I think that why he's so extra on board is because my boy just wants to keep fighting.
Also,
Yeah.
Zoro's always been one that expresses his care for people
In swords.
in very interesting ways, and which is primarily,
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill guys for you, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what he's doing. I'm 100% convinced that he likes Robin. I don't think there's
and then
Yeah.
and then Frankie was like, "Man, I love you guys."
Yeah, darn it, I love you guys. I like you guys.
you read him with a
Held.
fucking country
in
accent.
that moment, he said, "Darn it,"
Yeah,
and
he
I
said,
just
"Darn
had
it."
to.
He said,
But
"Darn."
yeah, so
Because I've always I like to think of Frankie with like a New York or Boston accent.
Sure,
Like
yeah.
yeah.
I think that that's good too. I think that these next fights are going to be interesting. How they face CP9. I'm actually really hopeful that these are going to be some really good fights. I hope that Spam Dam gets hanged by a flagpole from his underwear, and then killed.
Yeah.
So please, Oda, for once, please kill.
I hope
please
Luffy-
please kill this guy.
I hope Luffy eats him. I hope
like,
he just-
like
I hope he
Spider-Man 3. Please, God, kill Spider-Man.
Jesus, I want you to kill Peter Parker.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think we're in for some good stuff, and I don't think we have time for our next segment. Typically, our little special segment, but I do at some point. I have a little thing prepared for that. Maybe next episode.
Speaking of next episode.
We have a special episode coming up.
Special episode?
Special episode alert.
We've
alert,
had-
alert.
We've
Alert,
had a
alert.
JoJo only episode once before. Now it's time for a One Piece special episode. That's the name of the
That's the
treasure on the
name of
Grand
the
Line.
treasure on the Grand Line. Sanji's cooking. Sanji's cooking.
Sanji's cooking. Hey, what's our homework, Clayton?
Our homework is it's all One Piece, baby, and it's gonna be a big chunk of it too. We're gonna get through the end. We're gonna get through the rest, basically, of the Enies Lobby arc. We are gonna be going to chapter 430.
Let's go. 32 chapters, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which
Hayden
is
got
very
the
exciting
physical
for me
volumes?
because I finally have physical volumes of One Piece.
In English? In English?
In English.
Cool.
Yeah. It's the only language I can read.
I just thought maybe as a collector's item.
No. There's a.
Can I see them? Can I see them?
Oh yeah. Oh, you can see one of them. The other one has apparently spoilers.
There's a
on
huge,
the,
do not. I think it's the middle one. Nobody look at the cover until after you've read this whole thing.
Damn it!
Okay.
But
Okay.
I've decided that the best way that I'm going to be able to start collecting physical One Piece is to do it as the podcast goes.
Yeah.
And this
Right.
is my first time trying to read it physical, and I'm really excited.
I think it is genuinely much. I love reading it physical. I think it really adds to it.
Yeah, always.
But you don't get colors anymore.
Yeah.
And that's that's going to be a struggle. But I have
You can always-
colored pencils.
That'd be fun.
You own all of One Piece, but it's all like scribbled in like a 2-year-old.
You're like, sorry guys, I'm so behind right now. I've had to color every page I'm reading.
That's awesome.
That's fucking so funny. Can I ask you something, Clayton?
Please do.
What is there? Are there any moments for you? And you don't have to answer this, but are there any
Okay.
moments for you that hit as hard or harder than what we just read
So
coming up?
Robin's declaration that she wants to live is. There are a lot of moments in One Piece that are like near that for me. That is, I think, it means so much to me. That is probably my favorite moment in anything, like not just One Piece,
In
but from
media?
like in media.
Wow.
I desperately want a tattoo that like signifies that moment, but I don't know what to get because I don't want just the words, and I don't want like her face from that
You do the
moment.
burning government flag.
I want that, but I feel like that's kind of separate
Yeah.
from the whole
Yeah.
idea of it. But I do want the image of the burning world government flag. There's a lot of moments that I would say come close to it. This is a peak for One Piece, but y'all ain't seen nothing yet from Oda.
That's good to
But
know.
this moment specifically, it is so special to me that I would feel bad saying that anything surpasses it for me
yeah. That's
because
fair.
I love this
All right.
moment.
Fantastic. Well,
That.
part of me, no JoJo this week. The
Next week.
No JoJo for this next episode. The one after that will be a normal episode, and then the one after that will be another JoJo special because we are just finishing off part 4. Diamond is Unbreakable.
True.
Yeah.
And then very exciting things to come this next few weeks. Very
Part 5.
exciting. So excited to get more of Enies Lobby and finish it. So
Yeah.
excited to finish part 4. So excited to see what's in the future for both series.
I'm seeing more and more like when we started this, I was like, I literally do not know anything about One Piece except for like what 3 characters look like. And now I'm getting more and more. I'm seing characters. I'm like seeing characters we haven't met yet. I'm like, there's some guy is a lawyer or something. I don't know.
A lawyer.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
even know who this is.
Which they're gonna need. No, I'm kidding. It's his name's Law, I think.
Okay, I was like, is that who you're thinking of? I didn't want to say
That's
it.
funny.
I just know his name. Which is funny because that guy.
That guy. People love
No,
that
I know
guy.
people love that guy so much that he's a character that I have seen before, but I didn't know it was from One Piece. I thought he was from Undertale.
Homestuck?
Undertale.
You thought he was from Under.
I had only seen. I hadn't seen.
That's the. What?
I don't.
How?
How do you
I-
look at
You're
him?
like, I keep seeing like this Undertale character in One Piece style,
No.
like all this fan art.
No, I've
he's a
seen
regular human
cosplayers,
guy.
guys. I've seen cosplayers and fan art of this character.
Fan art of him hanging out with Sans, probably.
Yes, no, I think so. And like, guys, I don't know. I don't know what led me to this,
That
but
doesn't shock me. That makes sense, especially with his design.
yeah.
Fun fact about Law. I'm going to tell y'all this way ahead of the time.
Oh, yeah.
Law was supposed to die 5 chapters after he was introduced, but
Right.
didn't because Oda's
No,
wife said, "You can't kill him. He's too sexy." So
He
that's
was
just
finally
setting
gonna
up-
do it. He was finally gonna kill someone.
That's just setting up the future.
That is so funny.
Hey,
That is
you know
so
what?
funny.
I see it.
Yeah, I only know about that character because of Jump Force, which is where most of my One Piece spoilers have come from, is playing the Jump Force video game,
boy.
which was bad.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I think also on top of the outfit tier list, I think we should do a recap of like, now that we are farther along, we should do more characters that like talk about stuff that like project more predictions.
Yes,
I
more
think we should. I
predictions.
think we should
More
redo a
prediction.
prediction thing at this point in time
I think so as
That
well.
might be kind of
to
hard
celebrate
for-
half a year, to celebrate 6 months of this podcast next
Whoa.
time.
If we do that, I feel like that might be somewhat accurate for One Piece. I don't feel like any predictions
Oh, yeah.
Clayton could make about JoJo would come true, but
We'll see.
theory crafting in JoJo is a hilarious practice that people still do for some reason, even though it never works. No theories ever come true. Anyway,
We'll see. Clayton could get it.
we gotta go, but thank you so much for listening. Follow us on Twitter
Please do.
at @HatPodCrusaders, and we love you.
We love you.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
We love you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.